I am Grace. We'll be doing some floor poses today, a little bit of hip openers. I'm so glad you're here. Please I've got, my cat is shedding. I have cat fur all over me, so I apologize. Please like these free yoga classes if you enjoy them. And if you're one of the ones that are listening, take some time to just put a towel down, or if you have a yoga mat, and you can just sit on your mat and listen. And anytime you feel guided to, engage in one of the poses, feel free to do that as well. Just sitting on the mat is all we really need to do. It's our time on the mat, and there may be poses that you don't like, or that you're not feeling called to, and that's okay. And there also may be times when I may have you breathe 3 deep breaths, and you may feel like only breathing 2, or maybe you want to breathe 4. And I invite you to honor your heart. Honor your heart, thy own self be true. It's the most important thing in our world today. Thy own self be true, that we are all free to choose to be free, to choose our truth. So I'm so glad you're here. I invite you to close your eyes and dive inward. This yoga is a journey inward to become one with all aspects of the self, all aspects of life. Knowing there is really only one mind, and nothing is outside that one mind of the divine, all loving, all good presence. And so as we dive into our own being, we're going to spend some time this morning, an entire hour, giving our inner being attention. And knowing that this inner aliveness is divine intelligence that is timeless, it is ancient, it is infinite, it is limitless, and it is that true identity. We really just focus on our existence and being aware. Not aware of anything in particular, just that we are aware. We realize that this part of ourselves is much more expanded than our bodies, infinitely so. It includes everything, because there is nothing outside the one divine mind, and that is our mind. Each and every one of us, we share that mind. It's only one mind. And so as we connect deeply with our body in this practice, we're also going to be bringing an awareness to the truth that there's an awareness, there's a consciousness, there's an intelligence, there's a wisdom, there's a love that animates through the body that is far grander than the body, that encompasses everything. So we are in the body, but we're not of the body. This body has been created. It's just like all physical life has been created that we can witness on this planet. And it's all earth energy. And what brings it to life is the divine intelligence. And that divine intelligence can live many, many lives. It hasn't just lived one. It will live many after this. It will have many experiences. It gets to choose. It's free to choose. That brings it joy. And the true nature of this awareness that we are is absolute bliss and rapture, love, joy, peace, deep, abiding peace. So when we rest in these states, just maybe on a walk one day, or just sitting and or just being with friends and laughing and feeling that joy, and feeling that deep, abiding peace. We all have felt it, and we can feel more of it. It's always a choice. It's not an easy choice, trust me. We can train our minds to maintain that high vibration, to feeling these emotions very regularly. And so we know when we're in that emotion of feeling that deep peace, we were just laying in bed beside a beloved, and just feel so much deep peace. And knowing that that is resting in our true nature. You have touched the sacred heart of your being simply by resting in that deep peace, or that joy, or that state of love. So, yes, we are going to close our eyes, dive in, and scan the body. So, go in and spend some time, almost like a little microscope, and just look inside and see what it's like in there. You can go from the head down to the toes to the head. You can go from the heart and expand out. I like to go from the heart and expand out, but I do it different ways. I invite you to scan your body now. Just noticing as you scan the inner aliveness, bringing your awareness to the inside of your being. You may feel your heart beating. Just notice how every area in your body feels inside. I've had a little thyroid thing going on, so when I scan and I'm around the throat, I can feel the sensations, a little bit of tightness there. Not judging the sensations, just allowing them to be and to arise inside your body, becoming deeply connected to the intelligence, the aliveness that's animating through the body, and identifying that as yourself, far, far more so than just the body, because that is infinite. And its awareness can be everywhere at once, all different dimensions, all different lifetimes. We are going to bring our single pointed awareness to this physical body, realizing the aliveness that is dancing through it, and realizing the oneness in that it's all one, it's all self, yet also not identifying only with the little body, the microscopic body, the universal perspective, or even the galaxy's perspective, even the solar system's perspective. Our body is very microscopic. And it's knowing we are animating through this being, this species called human, that was somehow created. Lots of different theories. That doesn't matter right now. And taking this moment to set an intention into your consciousness, imagining your consciousness is fertile ground, and you're planting a seed. You put an intention on that seed and make it positive and make it present moment. I thrive in the abundance of my dreams. I thrive in the relationship of my dreams. I'm ecstatically happy with my career. Whatever you want to create, even if it's a loving connection to your body, knowing that this body is a part of you, yet not all of you. It's a real microscopic part of you. You are infinite. It's very important. This is where our awareness is right now. So set that intention into your consciousness for yourself. And let's begin now by doing some neck rolls, some gentle neck rolls. And I invite you to go nice and slow. And as you go slowly, notice sensation in the neck. Stretch. It feels so good. And we don't go past any hurt so good sensations in yoga. There's no pain. when we stay in the feel so good. We like to play our edge, and I like to explain that as a rubber band. So, there's plenty of time during the day when we want to sit on the couch and maybe watch a television show, and that's when we're being, loose rubber band. That's okay. That's okay. But the rubber band isn't getting any challenge or effort or anything. It's not getting toned or connected to. And then there's times when you want to just, do all out and heavy weights or whatever, or you're sprinting. We don't want to go into that space where we have the rubber band outstretched and in a state of stress. Let's go the other way in our neck. And so we want to keep that edge, kind of like maybe a 7, where we are challenging ourselves, putting a little bit of effort. It's feeling good in our body. Feel really good. We don't feel pain. And it's a gentle challenge, and we're all playing an edge. And we notice as we do that every day, we open up just a little more, just by playing on a gentle edge. No forcing or striving in any of my classes. And coming back to center, that's not. So we're coming back to center, but we are going to put the force and effort. Let's move into our pelvic grinds. We're going to do circles. And again, I invite you to dive into sensation. Your sensation in your body. Noticing from a perspective of infinite intelligence that is everything, everywhere, coming into this body that on the galactic level is microscopic, and seeing how divine truth can animate most powerfully through this being. Maybe right now, just by being present to the body. Knowing you're far more than the body, but being present. Circling around, noticing sensations, stopping if the sensation feels good, and just massaging it. And let's go the other direction. And your head may gently move as you move around. Allow it to move through its natural phases. Don't hold on to tension in your neck as you move around. We're trying to release as much tension out of the body so we can move the body freely. We are going to fully embody this human body. Keeping the identity, the true identity of ourselves as infinite divine intelligence. It has lived through many bodies. I'm just having another experience and coming back to center. Beautiful job. Let's do our cat-cow. Cat is flexion of the spine, and cow is extension of the spine. So you're just feeling flexion and extension. In your cow, you're going to feel the back arch, the chest open, shoulders come back, and head gaze out more. And in your cat, you're going to feel that spine round, the back arch up a little bit, and the head is looking in towards the tummy or the thighs. My eyes are closed because I'm really engaging in sensation. Just doing a few more on your own, basking in your own experience of sensation. And coming back to center, I like to do a little spinal twist. So I'm going to take that left leg out and take that right leg and bring it over to the outside of the left leg. And then just lengthen that spine, lengthen it up as far as you can. Both hands holding that right knee. And then take that left arm and wrap it around and tuck it in towards the body. And then we're going to take the right hand and we're going to bring it behind the back. If you can be in the center, that's okay. I'm usually off a little bit to the right just for comfort. And feel that arm steady on the earth. Inhaling, lengthening. And then exhaling, we're going to be twisting, gazing out over that right shoulder. With every inhale, we lengthen the spine, nice deep inhale, and exhale, twist. See if you can go a little further around in that twist. Last time, we're going to inhale and lengthen, exhale and twist. And see if you can make any micro movements to go a little deeper from the lumbar spine all the way through the thoracic and the cervicals. Notice those spinal processes twisted and release. Noticing the blood flow, little micro twist to the other side. Just noticing and sensing into that blood flow, pouring into the spinal column after that nice twist. And let's switch the legs. So the right leg is going to extend out, left leg is going to come out to the side. And again, you're going to lengthen the body up. Just lengthen it up, facing straight forward to the extended foot. And then we're going to take the right arm and hug it around the left knee. Feel that nice little stretch even in here in the hip area of the left leg. And then as we inhale, we're going to lengthen out back arm. The left arm is going to be right behind the buttocks, or if in the middle if you can, and that's comfortable. Inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling, twist. Gazing out over the left shoulder. Feeling all that sensation throughout your spinal column. Inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling, twist. A little further, a little deeper. Noticing the sensation in the spinal column. One more time. Inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling. Seeing if you can make some little micro movements a little deeper into the pose, staying on that edge. And then releasing. Little micro movement to the other side, to the right. Releasing the leg. And taking a moment as you close your eyes to dive into the spinal column and notice the energies there and what that twist has provided. Twists bring a lot of blood flow and energy into the spinal column. They keep the spinal column flexible by keeping twists on a regular basis. So that's beautiful. Let's come on our knees and let's move into a camel pose. So this is a little back bend, and let's see, off the picture there. Let's see if that's better. That's better. It's not the best. Okay, we're going to be in our camel, up towards the front of our mat, a little bit of space. And what I want you to do first is tuck that tailbone under. I want you to see all of me. Hi, Sandy. Oh, that's bad. Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to take this tailbone, tuck it under, opening up these lumbar vertebrae for the back bend. So it's going to take a lot of stress off the lumbar vertebrae to have that tailbone tucked under. And we're going to eventually have the hips over the knees, but we're not going to worry about it right now. First, we're going to bring the hands to the lumbar, the small of the back, right beside the lumbar. Elbows are going to be staying aligned with the shoulders. So if they start to flop out, just try to hold them so they're straight in alignment with the shoulders. And then we're going to open the heart and we're going to begin to bend back in a beautiful camel. And then once we got that back bend and it feels good, heart is open, you can feel that back arch and move those hips right back over the knees. You want to go forward of them, but just have them over the knees. And breathe. Let's take a nice deep breath here. Noticing sensations. Engage those bandhas. Mula bandha are your kegels, your pelvic floor. Uddiyana bandha is the belly. It goes up and engages in slightly. Jarandala is the chin. Thumbs in the middle, tongues on the roof of the mouth. And if you'd like to, let's come up to those toes and bring those heels a little closer up and bring the hands down to the heels. Now, if this is too much for you, if you're a beginner, just stay in camel as you were. And if you moved into this, move those hips forward a little bit and breathe. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. One more breath here. Nice back bend in the spine, open chest. And as you exhale, come up and then come into a child's pose. You're going to open your knees a little bit so you can let the torso and the belly just rest between the knees. And you're going to bring the head down to the mat. The hands can either be forward of you or you can have them alongside. And you can have them holding your feet. And I invite you to go into Pratyahara. Dive into the inner sensations of your body. Notice the energy movements from that beautiful camel back then. I invite you to do that in silence now. Taking another breath. And gently coming up. And we're going to move into a table pose. So the knees are right under the hips, the hands are right under the shoulders. And let's move into a couple cat-cows here. And as you do these, I invite you to be very conscious of all the sensation in the body. And I like to exhale into my cat, closing the lungs a little bit. And I like to inhale into my cow. The heart and the lungs are open, filling the lungs with prana, life, breath, and breath, and exhaling. Continue at your own at any time. You can move into spontaneous cat-cow. Really present to the muscles, the bones, the organs. As you move into these different poses. And coming into our cat with that big rounded back, let's hinge the hips back a little bit. Just enough to be in that feel so good hinge. And just take a couple breaths there. And that lower back open up and stretch gently. In a feel so good way. Feeling where your body's connected to the earth, fully embodying this infinite intelligence into this microscopic body. And coming up. And as you come back and forth, moving into spontaneous movement, I invite you to at least try when you're back in your cat, just doing some circles of the hips. circling those hips a couple times in both directions. Make sure to switch. We're moving into your spontaneous cat-cow, enjoying being in your body for a moment or two. Keeping the breath flowing. Finding all the ways that you can move in your body, just in your spontaneous cat-cow. Doing what feels good and having fun with it. Getting embodied in this body, we are more and more empowered as we are more and more embodied. So the more we embody, the more we are empowered with love. And then coming back to center, and we're going to open the hands up just a little bit, and we're going to move into a pigeon. So let's take that right knee up between the hands. We can take that left leg back as far as we can. Extend it. And then see if you can take this right shin and bring it as close to 90 degrees to the front as possible. That's very difficult for me. I'm not that flexible, so I have it bent in a little bit. And then bringing the body so you're balancing straight and square up, facing up. You don't want that. Now that I got my right knee in, it's easy for me to just flop down on my right hip a little bit, but I'm going to lift up off that right hip. The left hip is all obviously extended up and opening. We're going to feel this in our left hip. So our left leg is back. And engaging those bonds and just breathing into sensation in the body, in that left hip or anywhere else you feel it. And you're welcome to bring the hands to a block in front of you. You can bring them down to the mat or even down to the forearms. But the goal is to feel the sensation in that left hip, a gentle opening of the left hip. And you can even move that left hip just ever so slightly. Engaging the bodies and breathe. Pigeon. Fully engaged and just being in sensation, state of being. And allowing that to be as blissful as it naturally is. Just to be in your body, fully present, the sensation, infinite intelligence animating the body. And let's come up. And we're going to bring the right leg back. Now, one thing I had forgot to mention is a modification is you can put a blanket under the knee. Like that knee, sometimes I kind of feel it toward the end of that pose. And we're back in our table. We want to go to the other side. So bring that left knee up, opening up the shin of the left leg as much as possible, and bringing that right leg back. And remember, you could put a blanket under that right knee. Coming up so you're straight and you're square. We're not falling down on that left hip. Balancing up. Everyone can use a block. She's not very good. And feeling the opening on the left hip. Probably feeling the right as well. And noticing the difference between sides as well. Engaging the bandhas and breathe. Fully present, engaged in sensation in the body. Allowing it to be a basking in nectar. And one more breath. Good job. And we're going to bring ourselves back into table, sliding that forward knee back. Beautiful job. And I'm going to invite us to come forward so we're in seated position. And let's bring the right leg straight out, bend that left leg so the left foot's resting on the inner thigh. We're going to a single leg forward fold. It's one of my favorites. I don't know if we've done it. We probably have. Sure. Inhale, lengthening up. And exhale, hinging forward. So you're really going to feel the hip. The hip joint is the only thing moving, and you're going to start to feel the backs of the legs stretching. And just noticing that, and you can flex or extend that front foot. I like to extend it as I'm hinging down just to increase the sensation in the back of the legs. And just noticing how good that feels to be fully present. Your conscious, divine, intelligent awareness is feeling and basking in those back leg muscles. Gastrocnemius. It's amazing muscles. Just feeling those hamstrings stretching, layers of strength of the muscle. And then holding that for just one more breath, that edge. And then seeing if you can hinge just at the hip, just a little bit deeper, just a micro bit deeper. And then allow the spine to round and relax into the forward fold. You can massage the foot. And this is a sacred body temple, which is housing the divine awareness of the universe. One more breath in this deep forward fold. And inhaling, coming up. Beautiful job. We're going to switch legs. So the left leg is out, right leg is bent, right foot is resting on the inner thigh of the left extended leg. And we're going to inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, we're going to hinge forward, and we're going to really bring our attention to sensation. Noticing sensation in the body. You might feel a little something in the lower back. Whatever it is, we're staying in the feel so good zone. If it goes into hurt so good, back off. Any pain, please back off. We're just resting in the feel so good, stretching our body. Enjoying the experience of being fully present, feeling those muscles, and feeling the calf muscles, the gastrocnemius, the hamstring, the back of the thigh, feeling them stretch. You can flex and extend the foot. And then I invite you to take a nice deep breath as you bask in this sensation and let it be basking in the wine, basking in the nectar. And now see if you can hinge a little bit deeper in your hip. It just be a tiny bit, but that's okay. And then allow the spine to round. Head coming towards the knee. Wherever you are in this is perfect. Don't compare to other people. Just honor where your body's at. Some muscular trained people can't get much further than this in this pose, and that's okay. If you're playing your edge, that's all that's important. Everyone's body is different. Massaging your feet, remembering to massage them as sacred feet, a sacred body temple. Masking your nectar. And gently and kindly coming up on the next inhale. Beautiful job. Let's bring those feet together. Might as well go into a little Baddha Konasana and flap the wings. And then inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhaling, hinging forward. And noticing all the beautiful sensations that this creates for you, fully present in the body, noticing the hips opening up. Any sensation you might feel in your body. Engaging those bandhas if you can, and let's take 3 deep breaths here. Basking in the nectar. That nectar is always available in infinite abundance within you when you're fully present to yourself. Beautiful job in coming forward. Let's balance back here in our sits bones. We're going to maybe even be back onto our sacrum as we move into, let's move into balancing bear first. So we're balancing on the mat and we're going to lean back just a little so we're on even that sacrum, the sits bones, bringing the legs up. Beautiful. We're kind of in half boat right now, but we're going to take either side, or you can take your peace fingers and grab your toes of the feet, and then open them up and widen them out. And this is a balance, so find a spot in front of you you can gaze at as a drishti to help you stabilize that balance. Engage those bandhas. Taking one more deep breath. Noticing all the sensations and releasing down. Just noticing how beautiful that was for your own body. Hi, darling Xander. Hi, honey. This is our yoga cat. Oh, you can't see Xander yet. Oh, there he is. This is the Ecstatic Yoga Kitty Xander. It's John's cat. So I keep him forever. He's a very good kitty cat. So balancing on that sacrum, we're going to bring those legs up again halfway into half boat. We're going to move into boat now. And then we're going to lean back even more and stretch those legs out in front of you. Andrew's doing his yoga. And balance. Engage those bandhas and breathe. Find the drishti. Shake, that's okay. And then coming up. And I should have given you the modification. If that's too much, you can just stay in half boat and just work your way up. When I first started doing boat, I used to shake so much. I didn't know what was wrong with me. See all the other yoga students around solid and firm, and I was shaking like a leaf. But it takes practice. It takes muscle memory. It takes embodiment. So great job wherever you were at. Even if you just watched, that's okay. That's integrating it on some level. So coming up to the front of the mat, we're going to move into some spinal rocks. We're going to massage on either side of the spine. We're going to massage these kidneys and the whole back. It's a beautiful pose that really brings a lot of energy flow to the spine and to the back. So just rolling back and enjoying the sensation, keeping the breath flowing. It's a sacred embodiment yoga. And then ending up so that you're just flat on your back. And feeling yourself connected to the earth, feeling where your body's connected, feeling the feet on the mat, flat on the mat, rooted on the earth. Just bring awareness to that connection. Bring awareness to the arms. They're connected to the earth, the elbow, palms of the hands, or maybe you have palms up, backs of the hands. Noticing the back, tail, the sacrum, the thoracic, the shoulders, the back of the head. Noticing inner sensations. Taking a moment to even dive into the emotional body. Allowing whatever's there to arise as simply an ecstatic expression of energy. Don't judge anything or label anything. Just feel. Oh. Emotions are meant to be felt, not thought about. When you stay in the felt sense of the emotion, it simply burns away. It doesn't get stuck in the body tissues. So feeling fully whatever arises with no judgment, without labeling or titling or judging good or bad. So allow yourself to feel in presence, in silence, in harmlessness. It all surge through you. Beautiful job. Let's bring those knees into the chest and hug them. See how much time we have. Enough. Rocking back and forth. Promise some hip openers, so let's definitely do our reversed pigeon. I think I was going to do a little bit of lunges and lost our pose. I apologize. We'll do that maybe tomorrow. So feeling that right foot flat on the mat, knee is up, and you're going to rest that left leg. The left ankle is going to rest on the right leg, just above the knee. We're going to bring that right leg up towards us, clasp those hands behind the hamstring, up towards the knee, and begin to gently bring a right knee into the body. And find your edge. So remember, we're not just sitting on the couch and we're not running a marathon. Just finding a nice, gentle edge. We don't want to pull or pull a muscle or anything like that. We're just opening the body gently and staying in it feels so good. So basking in the sensations and breathe. And on your next exhale, releasing that right leg. And you're going to switch. You're going to take the left foot on the mat, knees up, right ankle's going to rest on the left leg, bringing that left leg in towards the body, clasping those hands behind the left hamstring, and gently bringing that left leg into the body. Feel that nice opening in the right hip. You can engage those bandhas slightly and breathe and bask in the nectar, bask in the sensation. Fully present. And on the next exhale, releasing the leg. Beautiful, beautiful job. And bringing both knees down. Beautiful job. And let's move into our bridge. So we're going to feel both feet flat on the mat, knees are up. We're going to move into half bridge, so bringing those hips up halfway. And just taking a breath, or taking 2 breaths right here, and noticing the sensation. And exhale, coming down. And as you notice sensation, I invite you to notice it as the infinite intelligence that is everywhere always. Being more attentive to what it feels like in this species, this body, mind. Inhaling, and again lift those hips halfway one more time, and go into your noticing as divine awareness. Noticing what it feels like in this corner of your universe, this part of your mind. And exhaling, coming down. Beautiful job. We're going to go into full bridge this time, so pressing into the feet, lifting the hips, allowing that spine to round as you bring the hands underneath you, clasping them, coming up onto your shoulders. Knees are hip width apart, don't allow them to spread apart. Keep feeling that nice arch, and let's engage the bodies and breathe. Shoulders are open. Bask in the sensations. 2 more deep breaths. One more deep breath. Notice everything. And the exhale, releasing the hands, releasing the shoulders, coming down 1 vertebrae at a time. And once you feel that lumbar vertebrae have relaxed, the sacrum and the tailbone, bring those knees into the body, and let's roll around and just release and relax that lower back. And notice how this feels. Being in this body yet not of it. We're trying on a pair of clothing. How does it feel? How does this body feel? Live in this body. Fully embodied, sacred embodiment. Let's bring the knees up, and pulling them towards ourselves. And a nice stretch. And releasing those legs. And then just being in this nice inversion and resting here for a moment, feeling the feet higher than the hand, the veins having that little vacation. And if this is where you want to stay for your inversion, this is fine. And if you'd like to challenge yourself more, is we'll lift the hips up, grab them, the hands onto the small of the back, and feel those feet coming straight up in front of the head. So as I look up, I see my feet. Just taking a few breaths and noticing sensation here in half shoulder stand. Those upper arms supporting the body. Adjusting the neck so it's comfortable. Releasing the energy moving down the legs naturally. I like to hinge over into a plow. I like to try to keep my legs 90 degrees to the floor as it protects my lower back. But some people are very flexible and their feet naturally come to the floor. Allow that to happen. Breathing, noticing sensations, enjoying them, basking in. And then bringing the hands down to the mat and rolling back down. And let's bring those knees into the chest, rocking back and forth. Let's see if we have time for, yeah, we've got time. Let's move into our fish. So extending the legs out, and the palms are going to be on the mat, and we're going to bring one palm at a time under the butt cheeks, palms facing down. And then bring those elbows and just snug into your body. Pressing into the elbows, we're going to lift the head. The chest is open. The head is lifting up off the mat and then coming gently down so that you can rest the crown of the head on the mat. Open heart. Engage the bandhas and breathe, noticing and basking in all the beautiful sensations. One more breath. And on your exhale, pressing into those elbows, releasing the head and coming so you're flat on your back again. And release those hands from under the buttocks and bring the knees into the chest. And let's roll a little again, releasing and relaxing that lower back. And we're going to move into our happy baby now. So bringing the feet so they're looking up towards the sky, opening up those knees, bringing the hands on the outside of the feet, and then pulling the knees down towards the armpits. Notice all those beautiful sensations in the hip and pelvic area. Bask in those great sensations. Breathe. One more nice deep breath. And then moving into happy baby and Nandavalasana, just kicking those feet around a little or making any pose or movement in the body that you feel you need before we move into a couple releases and then our Savasana. Enjoying moving around in your body. And then when you're ready, bringing the feet to the floor, move into just two releases today and then Savasana. So let's move into hula. As we drop one hip down towards the heel, other hip comes up towards the shoulder. And then swiveling it down. The sacrum and the lower back are all flat on the mat. Nothing lifts up off the earth. We're just swiveling these hips. Hula. And as you do this nice, slow, repetitive movements, dive into the sensations that it's creating in your body, in your spinal column, your hips. And breathe. And coming back to center. And let's do some cat-cow, flexion and extension of the spine. Feeling the small lower back pressing into the earth in your cat. Elbows tucked under, and then feeling that spinal column rise up and arch up off the earth. Everyone is sticking out into the earth. Back and forth into cat-cow on the floor, noticing sensation. fully present to your body. Energy sensation, physical sensation. And then coming back to center and getting into your Savasana position. Feeling the body relax. The arms maybe a little bit away from the body, feet. Just relaxing outward in relaxation and openness. And taking this time now in Savasana to really connect with the divine intelligence that's emanating through the body. That eternal part of the self, as you just allow your mind to go into silent stillness and allow a natural integration of the practice and the joining and connection to the infinite self. We bask in silence now. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. Just noticing how that feels to breathe into your belly. Becoming aware of the body, the legs, the arms, resting on the earth, the back of the head, the back, the buttocks. And is this species, this physical being, this human body, and rises in your awareness, wiggling the fingers and toes and stretching them out a little bit. And rolling over to one side, the other, and taking breath here as you integrate the sensations. And coming up to a seated position, nice comfortable seat. And taking this moment to first and foremost to honor yourself for being in this practice. Taking this time to be fully present to your body, divine awareness, divine intelligence. All the things you need to do today, you made yourself a priority for an hour. Sitting on the mat, whatever you did on the mat, even if you didn't move, you sat on the mat. So honor yourself. Be the kindest voice in your own self. Commit to deeper and deeper self-love. And the softest place to land in the universe, your own self, your own voice, your voice of peace. Taking a moment to scan the being, the inner being. Notice where you're at inside now. Notice it always changes. But there's a definitely permanent space within. It's always there. Noticing the spaciousness within you. The aliveness. The expanded true nature. It's basking in without sense. And taking a moment now to remind yourself again of that intention you set in your consciousness. I'm going to close with a namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of light, truth, and of peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you for joining. I am Grace. You can go to EcstaticYoga.Studio and find out more information on our online teacher trainings, our hybrid teacher trainings, our in-person teacher trainings, and our yoga retreats. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed day. Oh, and join us for a breath. We're going to be doing some rebirthing.